What's going on, everybody? It's me, Jerome, and I'm back with another video. So, I have another story for y'all. This one is going to be crazy. And I have my shirt off, y'all, because it's late at night, and I just wanted to record this right quick so I could give y'all the scoop while it's fresh on my mind. So, I went out on a date. Mm, yeah, I went out on a date with a guy that is older than me. Um, I dated older guys before in the past, but I guess the older guys that I dated, they were just a few years older than me. I think at the time, the gentleman that I was actually in a relationship with, we were 8 years apart from one another, and that was cool. It was what it was. And that relationship lasted for like a little over a year. But I went on a date with a guy that was way, I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. We're 13 years apart, which is not that bad, which is to some people good, bad, or indifferent, whatever. To me, it was cool because when I saw his pictures, I was just like, oh my God, this guy looks so nice. He looks so good, looks so dope. I approached him, and when I approached him, I just basically shot my shot. I went into his message, I shot my shot. It was what it was. And he responded, and we exchanged phone numbers, and we went on a date, and that was that. And so getting to know him was cool because he was older and he was more seasoned. So it was just flowing. It was just really just going, flowing. Um, Before the date, was it before the date or during the date? Before. It was before the date. He was telling me about some elements that was going on with him. And I won't focus on everything, and it's not a lot. I'm not gonna focus on everything. It's not a lot. But oh gosh, how can I say this? I'm just gonna say he has some issues going on with his vision, and the other stuff is kind of like whatever. And he brings it up a lot, and I guess I get it why he bring it up. But then I was thinking like, you don't have to bring that stuff up. I mean, if people want to know, they'll ask you questions, and then you make the decision if you want to tell them or not. But then it is kind of a good thing that you are telling people up front, so that's good. It is what it is, I guess. But I don't know. I want to talk about the vision part. So anyway, we met at a cool restaurant, and we met for the first time, and I was impressed. But gosh, I don't even know how to start this one off. Let's just say this: we went to the restaurant, and I was there first, and so when I was there, I went ahead and was just playing on my phone, looking over the menu, ordered us drinks, and that was that. And then I text him and let him know, hey, when you come into the restaurant, just go straight down, and I'm on the left hand side. And so because of the vision impairedness, if that is a word, when he came in, I'm waving my arms. He does not see me. And so I get up and I was like, hey, I'm right here. He still doesn't see me. So I walked to him, and he saw me as I was approaching him. And when he saw me, I turned around. I was like, okay, we're over here. So then I was thinking, when I was walking back to the table, I was just like, oh my gosh, I just cannot believe I did this. This is crazy. And so while I'm walking, he stopped, and I see him in my peripheral vision, and he had hit one of the I guess it was like one of the partitions they put in front of the table, so that way the waitress or the waiter can have 6 feet distance from the guests. And so he bumped into it, and he's just there, and I'm just like, you don't see that? So anyway, he said no or something. So I was like, just come over, and I moved it over. So then as he's approaching the table, we're at a booth, and it's a step up. So as he's approaching the table, I said, wait a minute, there's a step. So he's like, oh, I'm glad you told me that. So sat down, we had dinner, we had our drinks, we laughed. He talked to me about his elements once again, and that was that. And also, with this, we're getting to know each other and so on and so forth, and it is what it is or whatnot. And so, anyway, after we were done eating our meal, we decided to leave because we both had some things that we had to take care of. So we get up, and as we're getting up, well, let me back it up. When we were at the table, we were drinking. I'm not a big drinker, so I kept it cool and just had a sweet tea. That's my go-to. And he had a drink with, well, he had, I think it was a Crown and Coke or something like that. It was dark liquor, so it probably was a Crown and Coke. And I was like, why? I said, shouldn't you not be drinking that? And y'all, it wasn't because of it was because of the vision, but it wasn't because I wasn't thinking about, drinking or driving. What I was thinking about was we had an earlier conversation where he advised me that when his sugar is increased, his vision is more fuzzy. And so I was like, you shouldn't be having that. And, he was like, he was good. And my thing is, I'm in therapy now. I am not in the business to tell a grown man right, wrong, or indifferent. I just said what I said. You responded. I'm not going to argue with you. We good. Now, if my life was on the other hand where I had to be in the car with him, then I would be adamant. But this instance, nah, we good. Anyway, as we're leaving after his 2 cocktails, he'd get up and he kind of stumbled a little bit or whatever. And I think it was just cause whatever, was no biggie. But then I was like, just follow me since it's going to be hard for you to see. And then we'll walk out. So a particular restaurant we went at, there's 2 entrances at the door. But because of the pandemic, they put a partition in between the entrances, so that way you can use one door on this side for entrance, another door on that side for the exit. And so the partition was one of those partitions, like, when you go and visit a bank, it has those little pulley stretchy things, whatever the hell they're called. So it was that. So as we're walking, I went to the left side so I can go out the exit door. I heard something kind of, it made a little noise, a little wobble noise or whatever. So I turn around, I'm at the door. This fool is in it, like not wrapped up in it, but he's in it. I was like, you don't see that? He was like, no, I told you I can't see. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I left the door, went over there by him, and I was like, come on. I was like, I can't believe you can't see me. And then so I don't know if I made the comment or he made the comment, because it's been a minute, but something about, putting his hand on the shoulder. It had to have been me. I said, why don't you just put your hand on my shoulder and then we'll just walk out. So then as we were walking to the door and walked out, he was like, well, I don't really want to do that because this was going by quick and the door was like right there. That's why I'm trying to figure out, how did you not see me and you ran into the partition? Anyway, he was like, well, what people are going to think. No, people are going to think, what did he say? Something about people are going to think something because they're going to see his hand on my shoulder. And I was like, Charlie, nobody worried about your vision. All they're going to think is that you're an old man and you running after me. That's it. Nobody don't care what they think. So that's that. Oh, and now that I'm talking about this and saying this, and I got my shirt off, isn't that an oxy? I ain't playing this, y'all. It's really nighttime. But anyway, gosh, what I was going to say. So anyway, we walked to his car and my car. He parked beside me. And, I gave him a hug. And that's one thing that was kind of weirded out by me, too. Gosh, how do I say this without saying? Well, I'm just going to say it. So, PDA. I don't want to say I'm a big fan of PDA, and I don't want to say I'm not a big fan of PDA. But my thing is, if I like you and I'm enjoying you, I'm going to give you a hug, and I'm going to show some type of affection to you out in public. And if I definitely, with somebody, I'm going to show my affection out in public. Because my thing is, those goddamn people outside the world don't have nothing to do in our household. We can do what we please. Hell, my mom and daddy did it before. I could do it too. And so he kind of was like, about it, He did it, but you could tell when somebody's into it or not into it. Whatever the case was, it was fine because maybe I wasn't his cup of tea. So gave him a hug, and there was cars, coming, past us, whatever, I guess, finding a park or maybe going to the next restaurant, because it was one of those establishments where, you have 3 or 4 restaurants, but they go through the same parking lot. It was like that. And so I told him, I was like, are you okay? He was like, yeah, I'm cool, and this, that, and the other. He was like, I'm going to go ahead and go home and handle my business. I said, okay, well, before you put that goddamn car in reverse, make sure you stay put, because there's a car behind you. And so that was that. And so, anyway, after that, I forgot, I left off one part. the part I left off is when he was telling me about the hand on the shoulder, what people was gonna think. There was a curb that was, stepping down into the street. That thing tumbled, and I'm not saying tumble like that, but kind of stumbled. He stumbled. So that was that. So anyway, I ended up going to my sister's house, Casey, and TT, and well, actually, I went to TT house, and Casey was there, and I was telling him about the situation. I was just like, oh my God, this is so crazy. And I was just like, I like the guy. He's really cool. I don't want to be, I don't even know what the word is, but I don't want to be like that. But I just felt like it was just such a hard job at that time. Be like, gosh, this is what my life is going to be, where I got to really like cater to someone like this. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And you fall with who you fall with. But I was just like, gosh, that was a lot on that first day. Like, he keep filling it in about all the elements that's going on. And I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody is not even paying attention to that. And y'all, just to tell y'all about one of the other elements that's going on, which none of the stuff you're talking about is really of any, I'm not going to say if it's not of any importance. It's just that I don't think nobody cares. Because one of the things is he has, I'm just going to say it has a skin discoloration. That's what I say. He has a skin discoloration. And so he's so adamant about it. And I'm just like, you don't have to keep talking about that. Like, we already know about stuff like this. And my thing is, people are going to ask questions. And honestly, to tell y'all the truth, y'all, when I was, looking at his pictures and I was seeing his glow up, because that's what I call it when I be doing research on people, Facebook and Instagram photos. I saw the discoloration going on, but I was just like, oh, okay, vitiligo, whoop-de-doo, you still fine. And one of my good friends, Deidre, she was telling me that, when people be having stuff going on with them, nobody don't pay attention to that stuff until you open up your mouth about it. It's just like she was telling me about makeup. When people be wearing makeup, honestly is probably for that person. Because, guys that you date, they don't really too much care about it. And most of the guys that I know, they so team natural when it comes to dating these girls. And the other guys that date guys, it's just whatever. Anyway, so that was it. So went over to TT house. Casey was there. We was talking about it. I gave them a good little show about it, and that was that. And so after I got home, talked to him again, and he's real cool, real direct, talks a good game, and this, that, and the other. There were some things that I had to, I'm not gonna say correct him on, but stand my ground on, because I'm just like, no, I didn't say that. And I don't know if that come from because of the individual, or does that come from because of the age gap. But I had to let him know, look, I've been in this world long enough, and I got student loans, mortgage, car note, credit card bills, and miscellaneous shit all around me. So you can save all that for someone who's below me. And when I say below me, in the age. So that was that. And we still was cool after that. But anyway, what had got to me was I had a good friend with my homegirl, Deidre, and she was telling me that, you know what, all that stuff you keep bringing up day in and day out with me, it seemed like it's something else to it. And so after we was talking about, the situation at hand, the conclusion that was created was that maybe the individual I'm going on a date with is looking for someone to nurture them, or I'll say nurture, because the wording that we used was feel sorry for, which I guess we could use that too. So feel sorry for them. And maybe that's not that person's intent, but that is what I'm receiving. And so basically in a nutshell, she was like, Jerome, you talking about something, he had to hold the shoulder, he bumped into the little partition and all that other stuff on the date. She was like, he drove a whole vehicle to the restaurant without getting into an accident. And I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that. And I was like, I was like, you're right. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try something on our next date. I'm going to just be regular as hell and just do me. Just worry about me, and that's that. So anyway, second date, we end up going to this cool joint down in Midtown. And when we got there, we arrived together. When we got there, I just carried on as normal. And when I say carried on as normal, I was just walking, we was talking. I didn't say anything about a curb, a trash can here or partition here or nothing. I just carried on. And y'all, when I carried on like that and we got to the door, he actually went to the door and opened it up for me. Now, I stood back because I was just like, okay, maybe he need to feel the damn door and then he's going to go in. He actually pulled the door, looked at me, and I was like, oh, okay. Threw me off. But I went in anyway. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. Let me try challenge number 2. So then after that, we ended up going to the restaurant. We ate. He went to the restroom. I went to the restroom, washed our hands. We ate our food. We did our little drinks. We did a deep conversation. Again, he's telling me about these elements again. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we are talking about this again. However, in conjunction to that, he also talked about his ex or exes. And I don't know about you guys, but when exes are brought up in a date with me, especially the amount of times and the details that I've learned, we're not going to be an item because you're still too focused on that situation. So that was cool. We could be friends, but that was cool. And so, anyway, after the date was over with, it was time for us to go. And so, when it was time for us to go, we got up, we got our food. I walked out the door. He walked out the door. I held the door. He walked out the door. I veered to the left, and I went through the trash can. It was something else beside me. He went the other way. I stepped off the curb and kept walking. He came beside me. He said, "You didn't see that curb?" I said, "Mm-mm." I knew it was something there. I thought it all went together. He didn't say anything. And y'all, I think my friend D was actually right that I think he was looking for that care or that nurturing part. I'm not in for it. It was just like, no. My thing is, I'm a very nurturing gentleman, and I am very caring, especially when it comes to my relationship. Hell, I'm very caring because I'm just a damn Capricorn, and that's just how I am with everyone. And at that point, I don't want to be forced to do something. I want to do it naturally. And I think that's probably why I felt that way. One thing that got to me too is that, he was in a committed relationship. And I'm just like, gosh, why did you leave that committed relationship? Like, you are talking about all these things that's going on with you. That was probably the person that you could have worked it out for. Especially when he told me the business that person wanted to work it out, and then that they didn't leave each other under bad terms, So I don't know. I just know that it was different for me. That was my first time going out with someone 13 years older than I am. Yeah, that was my first time. And not to say, and I would do it again. But with those elements not under control, or I guess is new to that person, I don't know, it will probably make me think maybe twice about it. But I don't know. I want y'all to drop down in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Would you guys date someone older? And if you have, how is it? Me and my friends, we talk all the time about love life, relationships, and dating. And I have some friends that do date older gentlemen only, and the guys they date, I know them, some I know of, and they ain't got none of that shit that I had going on. Like, I had a whole new version of dating somebody older, because with, my friends, they trying to keep up with them, because them guys are just going. They just pulling them from left to right, like, we finna do this, that, everything, left to right, let's go. What you doing, barbecuing or boogalooing? But with this one, shit, I don't know. I just felt like I was at the Social Security office. I don't know. However, the gentleman, he still is nice. He's attractive, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that our preferences and our wants and needs for a relationship are just on two different worlds, I guess you could say. They're just separated, and that's that. And of course, I'm dating, you know what I'm saying? So I'm dating. So this is what you do in dates. You do the interview process. Is this someone I want to be exclusive with? No. No. Nice date, have a great time talking to you on the phone, but being exclusive, nah, I don't want to be exclusive. Just move on to the next. But anyway, drop down in the comments. I want y'all to make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, because my ass is rambling or rumbling or whatever you call it. And I'm not tired, but I'm fit to be tired. I'm fit to get in this room, and I'm fit to cut on a good movie, and hopefully we'll watch my ass. So that's that. Anyway, talk to y'all later. It's me, Jerome. Bye.